said we could buy it out of our own funds, but not their funds.
Okay.
So with that in mind, one of the things I'd like to recommend to the group is that we use some of the money we raised last year to go ahead and purchase this tracking thing, authorize Roger to buy it direct and reimburse himself, or cut a check from our group.
You making a motion or?
I move.
I'm second.
Anybody opposed? Okay, please take care of that, Roger.
How much do we have to do that?
Well, that's why I was kind of hoping that the state was going to kick in some money, because we're sitting at a little over $800 in our own cash right now. There is a couple of things to think about, and how some of our federal money has come down is that some things that I think that Bill and Karen have been kind of picking up as some of the printing fees and things like that. There is a pretty good part of the money under the administrative side that we could funnel those things through if we want to print out brochures. And so things that we would have traditionally spent money out of ourselves, we can put it against that money from the
Is that a one-time software purchase, or?
Yeah, it's a one-time thing.
Okay, it's not an annual.
No, we're not buying into it. You just buy the software and then you're done. I'm still going to look around a little more to see if I can find it cheaper. It would be nice if they had an 09 version, but the only one I've been able to find is the 10 version. I'm going to look around a little more to see if I can find an 09 version, because it's not going to change any different on the forms. It's not including any additional tax type software. It doesn't have tax software in it. It's only forms and account, credit debit account version. And I look at what it's doing and what new tracking they put in. I was like, it's not really worth my time to upgrade for $70 just to get a new graph chart that I can do, that I've either been doing myself or I do something. So,
What I would like us to do is, by purchasing this, we start tracking the money, and then we have the capability, because we will have to track this, and as long as our annual budget stays under 10,000, not 10,000, under 10,000, then that keeps us in a certain tax bracket, and renewal fees are also much lower. But if we get big enough and we get people donating over $10,000 a year, that moves us into another bracket. But we do have to report all this annually, because we're going to be taking deductions. They're going to want to know who, and we just want to be squeaky clean, no conflict of interest.
and the other thing nice about this software is it offers up like letters to contributors. It's already canned language, so you can send out money if you were going to say thank you to people that have donated money, things like that. It make it a little more streamlined and easier for whomever. It is a single user license. That's where I would just keep it at for right now, instead of, because we're not really networked as a group yet to say get a multi-user license or something like that.
Absolutely, I think that's great. Calendar items. Calendar items. Karen, you were going to report on jackets.
Oh,
jacket
yes.
marking.
I have talked to Jen, and I've talked to Robin, and Jen quoted me $6 a jacket, but that was for 2-inch letters, half an inch wide. And then I got to thinking after I talked to her that really they should be almost as big as the police that's written on the back of the windbreakers that the police wear. Don't you think? Not quite that big, almost that big. So then I talked to Robin, and Robin said what she was going to do is do a layout. She's not familiar with the type of material that the jackets are made out of, so I'm going to take a jacket over to her.
Is this Robin Elliott, did you say? Is it Robin Elliott?
She lives on Pine. Yeah. Robin and Scott.
Yeah, Elliott.
Okay. And she's going to do a layout with the lettering so that it's in the middle of the jacket, and then see how we want it, and so I can bring it here and show you guys. And she'll do it in 2 batches. half and half so that all the jackets are not out at once. And since we've got extras in there, we can loan the extras to the people that have their jackets out being printed. So that you have a jacket in case you get called out.
What we have is, we have the baseball caps, watch caps, and bright yellow safety jackets for folks. As we have some left over from our initial buy. When we got them, they didn't have any kind of marking, so we want to get new Boston CERT put on them. We'll get you guys issued that. We want to get them marked, and when you go through the formal training, then you actually get issued a backpack from the state, which has got a whole bunch of stuff in it. And we actually have those on hand, but we will need to get you signed up for the formal state thing, the formal training, and I'll work that with Susan Jetras, our Goffstown. Anyway, Goffstown here. She's, we've already got a couple of training sessions coming this spring, so we'll get that, and it's about 20 hours a classroom, if you will.
I have the jackets and the hats over here.
Yeah, so before we disappear, we got a couple things on, we got a lot of the rest of this are calendar events. Most of you, I hope you got the calendar that I've been sending out, updating.
And I'm not getting your hat.
Let's pause at this time and let the people who need to get fingerprinted, get fingerprinted by the chief.
Chris, I only need,
Still haven't been submitted?
I don't think so.
No, they have not.
Huh.
Actually, they were submitted and we thought we will return, because there were some other issues, but let's,
All we need to know is what do we need to do?
Yeah.
Fill out the card, the 10 card.
Refill this out.
all right, she
You need that?
I
6-1.
I've done it already. You done it? No. Okay.
I sent you a SOP.
And you had your
PDF
fingerprint.
file.
Yeah,
So you're all- You're all set.
Should we
I
do
just sent
that?
it as a PDF. Just
Fill
so you
that out
look
just
at
in
it.
case.
I sent it as a PDF so you could
Resubmit that to
I have
them.
the Word document. And then,
And what
pen.
is the section 2, apologies, should we release this too? Is this the same thing?
You probably got
Yes,
some benefit
in the
of
box.
that.
The whole crux of this is I have really no control over it. This all goes administratively to them. Normally, in a perfect world, I should be able to do the record checks. Unfortunately, the state won't let me. It's as easy as me calling up the station and saying, run this person. But the bureaucracy involved in this is above and beyond what it should be. So,
Do I need, that's my signature, do I have to do this
So
in
I
front of a
just kind of
notary
filled
or?
in, so there's some areas that may need
technically, yes.
tweaking, because I just kind
Technical rules,
of plugging away
Kathy
and
can't.
putting together a baseline.
Well, y'all
SOP,
witness it.
And
I'll
because
take it in
also
there, yeah.
the goal was just to put in the policy on
What's the
reimbursement, so
street
that's
that you guys
part of
have?
what's in there. So
116 Old
when you get a
Post
chance, it
Road.
just talks about how we will do reporting and things like that, which I thought was important, and talks about, active and inactive members.
What's the deal with the state?
It covered everything we talked about, if you
Yeah,
used to buy a
no,
car
me
from
either.
OnStar and then.
Yeah, I was just like, of course I had to get background check and everything for the insurance agent,
No.
but I was like, I've been in the fire department here for years, like I never got fingerprinted before, I'm like,
And I worked for
I don't know.
Fidelity, insurance people, and